Hey, what's good, guys? We are on the question set 27. So, let's read the first question. So, the first one is what is the number of students studying in class 11A? So, we need to get the number of rows. So, therefore, you have to use a count function, and yeah, and number of students studying in class 11A. So, let's write the query. So therefore I'm going to write I'm going to work from let me get the database real quick. Or is the database exam.db? Okay, cool. And now I'm on the student table. And okay, so what is the number of students studying in class 11A? So I'm going to say select all from exam.db's class student. If I execute this query, uh, you will be able to see the class. You will be able to see the class. Sorry, the student tables record. But you can see that there hasn't any class names on this table. It's just class ID. So we have to get the class name using the class ID, and therefore I had to write a subquery. So I'm going to say where student tables class ID is you don't know the class ID exactly. If it's one, let's take a look at the class table. So you can see the 11A's class ID is number one. So you cannot just simply put class ID and search it by search like this. You will get the answer, but this is not the correct way. So therefore you have to use subquery. So I'm going to say in. Now I'm going to write the class. I'm going to get the class name using the class ID in the class table. So I'm going to say select all from exam of DB's class table, where class tables class name is 11A 11A, and I need the class ID. So I'm going to say I just need the class ID. So I'm going to say class ID, and if I execute this query, you'll get the same answer, but in this case you search the row by class name instead of using the class ID. Okay, that's cool. So now we need to get the number of rows of this specific result that we have used. uh, no that we have get using those what using the condition. So now I need to get the number of rows. So if I say count student tables index number, because index number is unique, so that's why I'm using index number. So if I execute this query, you will be able to get the number of students uh, in who studying in class 11A. Also I'm going to rename the column. So I'm going to say class 11A students. So this way show answer like this. So that's cool, and I'll see you in the question 2. Okay, the second one is Find the number of students who score between 40 and 90 marks in all the subjects in the first term examination. Find the number of students, the number of data records. Okay, the number of data records. So who scored between 40 and 90 marks in all subjects in the first term examination. So that's what I'm gonna do now. So in this case, I'm going to work on the student exam mark record table. So I'm going to select all from um, student exam mark record table. If I execute this query, you will be able to see the student exam mark record table, and now they have mentioned the first term. So you can see here there is no first term, there's no term name here, therefore we don't have to join, but in this case I'm going to get the um, term name from the exam term table using a subquery. So you can see there is a term ID, and it is this is foreign from the exam term table. So using this ID we can get the term name, or we can we had to search the term, we had to search the result, but we had to search it by the term name. So I'm gonna say where exam term, no, hold on, student exam mark record tables, term ID in, and now I'm going to get the term ID using the term name from the exam term table. So I'm going to say select all from uh, exam term table, where exam term table's table name is first term. Yeah, so where exam the term name is first term, so the term name. So if I execute this query, okay, we have an error. And where is the error? Oh, yeah, I had to get the term name, I had to get the term ID. So they should omit, they should give us one column. So what is I need is I need the term ID. So exam term tables term ID is what I need. So yeah, okay, so what is the issue? Yeah, okay, it's a typing mistake, I guess. So this is the student who's okay, but now we have to mention the score, the marks that has been scored on this in the first term examination. So so this is the next condition, so therefore you have to say and student exam mark record tables mark between 40 and 80, I guess. So if you execute this query, you will get answer that between the mark count between 40 to 80. So yeah, and what else we need? Yeah, now we have to get the number of the data record. So therefore you have to say count student exam mark record tables index number. So when you count this the rows, the columns, these student index numbers, columns rows, you will get the number of data. So yeah, it is 13, and now I have to say I have to rename the column. So I want to say number of uh, data records. Let's say data records. Okay, cool. So yeah, this is the answer for question 2. And I'll see you in the question 3. So the third one is what is the number of students appearing in the science subject of science in the second term examination out of students studying in all classes in grade 11. So there are two conditions: science subject and the term name. Second term examination, studying in all classes, so it's just you don't have to worry about the classes because there are only two classes. um, and yeah, so I'm gonna say select all from student exam mark record table. If I execute this query, you will be able to see this kind of result. So this is for the student exam mark record table, and now and and the conditions, we have to check the condition, the subject, science subject. So therefore we have to use the subject name. So if I say where exam sorry, the subject student exam mark record table subject, um, there is it's you cannot get the name uh, using a subject ID, or you can search by subject ID, but you don't know which ID is for which subject. So therefore you have to find out a way to use the subject name and get the subject ID by using the subject name. Therefore you have to use subquery, and so I'm going to say inside this I'm going to get the subject name using the subject ID. No, I'm going to get the subject ID using the subject name from the subject table, and after that we will get the science subjects result. So I want to select all from exam mark database subject table, and where subject name is science, and here I have to get the science subject ID. So I want to say subject table subject ID. Okay, so this will be the answer for the this is the result for the subject science. And now we had to get the term name. So therefore you have to get the term id using term name in the term table. So now we are on this exam mark um, student exam mark record table. So we can only use IDs. So to get the IDs we had to use the name. So exam term ID of student exam, and inside this bracket I'm going to write the subquery. It is select exam term tables term ID is what I need, and it's from the exam term table where the term name is what's the term name, let me check. It's second term. Second term. By doing this we will be able to get the term ID, and after that we are inserting the term ID in the subquery, and now we will get the answer for the second term. Also the subject is for science. Okay, cool. And now we need the number of rows. So what is the number of students appearing in the science, in the subject science? Okay, so you just have to simply put count. So in this case I'm going to count the columns. I'm going to count the student index number. So student exam mark record table student index number is what I'm going to count. So the row count, yeah. So this is the answer for question 3, and I'll see you in the question 4. So we are on the question 4. Let's read the question. So find the following details of 11A. Class students who scored more than 60 marks in mathematics in the second term examination, admission number, first name, last name, mark, and date of examination. So let's take a real quick let's take a quick points that we have to mind. So the class A name. So when we work on the student table we have to inner join the class table. Also we have to inner join the student exam mark record tables to get the exam marks. So okay, and we have to mention the uh, subject name. So therefore we have to use the subject table. Also you can see here they have mentioned the second term, so therefore we have to use the term exam term table, and these are just rows. We can sort it out uh, after we sort out the rows. So let's do that. So I'm gonna work on this student table. So select all from exam mark dbs student table, and after that let me show you the result before joining the student exam mark table. So here it is. So this is what you will be expected to see if you execute this query. And after that I'm going to join exam mark dbs class table. So class is a class table. Okay. So after that, I'm going to say class tables. Class ID is going to be matched with student tables class ID. Okay. Now you can, if you execute this query now, you can get the class name. Okay. So we have done the class name. Now I'm going to join inner join exam mark dbs exam record table, and after that I'm going to say on student exam mark record tables student index number is going to be matched with student tables index number. Now now I have executed the query, and you can see the student exam mark record table. It has been appeared, and we have matched the table, join the table. So, and after that I'm going to join the term table. So I'm going to say exam term db's term table, and in this case I'm going to join exam term tables term ID with student exam mark record tables term ID. Also I'm going to join subject table. Also I'm going to join the subject table. So therefore the subject tables subject ID is going to be matched with student exam mark record tables term subject ID, like this. Now if you execute this query, you'll be able to see the class name, students details. Also you'll be able to see the class term name, subject name. So that's all what we need in this case. You can see I have talked earlier the marks. We need the marks, we need the subject table, subject name, we need the term name, also we need the class name. Now we have, for that we need these details to search. So now we are going to right before I'm going to execute this query to see what exactly we have got as a result. So you can see here there are tables. We have joined the tables. Now we are going to write the condition. So the first condition is the class. So the class tables class name is, what is the class name? 11a. Now I'm going to execute the query. Now I have filtered out the class, so I only have the results for class 11a. And okay, also now we have to filter out, now we have to check for the marks. So the mark, so I'm going to say and so mark column is in the student exam record table. So mark is higher than, is it higher than or lesser than? It's more than. Okay, so more than 60. Is it good to say like this? No, it's not good to say. So you have to write like this. So higher than 60. Now if you check this, check the mark column, you can see there's nothing below lower than 60. Everything is higher than 60. Okay, that's also good. So the next one is the subject name. So the next condition is subject name. So subject name is, we are going to get the subject name from subject table. So the subject name is mathematics, and also I'm going to mention the term name. So this exam term table's term name is, what is the term name? Is it first or second? Second term. Okay, cool. So second term. And now we filtered out the rows. Oh god, look at this. There's nothing much. I thought there will be plenty of rows. Okay, it's okay. It's also good. And now we have filtered out the rows. Now we had to mention the columns that we only need. So in this case, we need the student's admission number, we need the student's first name, last name, and the mark, also the date of examinations. So I need the student's index number. I'm going to get the student's index number from student table, and I need the student first name, student's last name, and I need the mark. So mark column is from the student exam record table. The mark, also I need the exam date. So exam date, and you can see here we have filtered out the rows. Okay, so I want to delete this condition, and I want to check if it's really right or not, because I'm not sure about the class thing. Oh, it's still the class. Okay. So let's take a look at what are the columns that we need: the admission number, first name, last name, mark, and the date of examination. Okay, so we are good to go, and now we can check out the fifth question, and I'll see you in the fifth question. Okay, so now we are on the fifth question. Find the number of students in class 11A who scored more than 60 marks in the science subject in the second term examination. Find the number of students in class 11A who scored more than 60 marks uh, in the science subject in the second term. So the conditions are the class name 11A, the marks, uh, what is that? The marks compare. We had to compare the marks, the subject name, the term name, and after that we had to count the rows. So when we filter out the row, we will be able to count the rows. So it's that simple. So let's move on to write the query. So I'm going to work with the student table. So I'm going to select all from exam mark db's student table, and I want to execute this query, and you can see the result here. Nothing much. And now I'm going to inner join the class table. So I want to say inner join exam mark db's class table where, so not where, you have to say on class tables class id is going to be matched with student tables class id. And now you can see we have got the class name as well with the student table. So and after that I'm going to inner join the exam mark db's student exam mark record table. In this case I'm going to join the student exam mark record table's index number, with student index number with student tables index number. And if you execute this query, you can see here we got the student exam mark record table. So by doing that, by doing this, we can work on the mark column because we need to compare the mark. Okay, so after that I had to mention the subject table. Do we need the subject table? Okay, yeah, we need the subject table. So I'm going to say inner join exam mark dbs subject table, and in this case the subject table subject id is going to be matched with student exam mark record tables subject id like this. And now you'll be able to get the subject name as well. Let me show you the row column. So here you can see also they have matched with the student exam mark record tables. You can see here this is the subject id for the student exam mark record table. Also you can see here this one is for subject table subject id, and they perfectly matched together. And now I'm going to inner join the exam mark db's exam term table, and the exam mark table's term id is going to be matched with a student exam mark record table's term id. And by doing this we will be able to get the term name as well, the term name. So cool. So we have got the term name. So now we had to write the conditions. So the first condition is class name. So where the class table's class name is 11a. So 11a is the class name. Let me get the class name here from the result, so we won't get any typing mistakes. You know what I'm saying? And now you can see in the class name row, there's nothing but 11a. Okay, so that's okay. And now we had to mention the marks, the score. So in this case the marks is from the student exam mark record table. So mark is higher than 60 or less than 60. Let's take a look. It's scored more than 60. So yeah, more than 60. And let's take a look at the mark column. Here you can see it's also the every result it is higher than 60. There's nothing lower than 60. Okay, cool. And the next what is that next condition is the subject name. It is mathematics, so the subject, I have to use the subject table. Subject name is mathematics like this. And now we have almost filtered out the rows. The mathematics is the subject, and now we have to mention the term name. So the term name you have to get the term name from the term table. So exam term table is where the term name exists. So I want to say second term. Okay, let's take a look at the result. There's only 2 rows, and we filtered out the rows. Now we had to count the rows. find the number of students in class 11A. So you can see there's only 2 students, but it's not my problem. So I'm gonna say uh, student tables index number is what I need. So now I have to say count. Now you will be able to get the number of students for this condition. Okay, cool. So this is the answer for the question 5, and I'll see you in the question set 28. Thank you for watching.